Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel Tutor Things. So, as in the previous video, we have seen SQL student management system. So, where we have created a database SMS underscore DB. In the previous videos, we have doing some questions on this particular database. We have completed fully 15 questions in the all the related to different kind of statements. We have answered 15 questions. If you haven't watched that video, please go and watch SQL student management system using SQL server. I have done that video. So this is the continuation of that video. In the previous video, we have created a database called as SMS underscore DB. You can find that in the object explorer. Here you can see. Here we have like a SMSDB table, and we have created a batch table and then a course table, and then we have created an enrollment table. And for students, we have created students should enroll for the particular batch, and that the particular batch is related to that particular course. So for that, we have created this database structure. If you haven't know like how what are the fields we have specified, you can just pause my video and take these statements like create table student which is having an ID, name, date of birth, country and qualification, email and phone. And for course, we have having a course ID, name, course category, fees and duration. And for batch table, we having batch ID and batch start date and batch strength and course ID. Here we are making course ID as foreign key and reference to the course table foreign ID. We have a course ID, right? In the course table that we have a reference here in the batch. So thus batch and course are interrelated by this ID. And for enrollment, we have like batch ID and student ID, where enrollment is a table where we are having connection with the student to that batch. So enrollment date will be there, and for primary key we are making a batch id as a primary key in the enrollment, and foreign key we are making student id and batch id as a foreign key, so which is referring to the student id from the student table and batch id from the batch table respectively. So this is how we are connecting students should enroll for a particular batch, and that batch having some courses related to that. So this is the structure of our database. You can see the tables and all the things which are related to that here in C. And also in the previous video, we have inserted data. If you want to get the same data, I will just pause my video and take the data. So in the student table, we have all this data student, or you can give your own records. So student 1 2 3, so ids will be like that, and name anything you can mention, and date of birth anything you can mention. And after that, we'll have see the structure, whatever the keys we have mentioned for the student, we have to specify that in a order, so that will not any create you any error while inserting the documents. And next we have qualification, next mail id, and next a phone number. I have inserted some records in ways like to answer the questions which I have framed. So you can insert your own data and you can check. And the course ID, same course ID, and then course name, and also the course category and the duration, and what will be the fee we have given. And the batch is same batch ID and batch start date, and the same the strength of that batch. And then we are having the course id mapped to the same course from this course table. In the enrollment id, you can see the batch name and student name and the enrollment start date. So like this, I have passed the data, you can see. So this is all about the data. You can give your personal data or watch the previous video. You can see like how I have given this data. You can pause my video and also you can take a screenshot. So this is the courses. Pause here and take the screenshot. And these are the batches data. So you can take this also. And this is the enrollment data for first batch, and then second batch some students, third batch some students, and fourth batch and fifth batch, sixth batch, seventh batch, eighth batch, ninth batch. 10 batches we have. So every batch we having some set of students, and student data you can give your own. So this is how I have inserted data in those tables. In the previous video, we have answered the 15 questions. If you haven't watched that video, I will provide you the link in the description also. So it will be very easy to find out that video, part one. And in this part two, we are going to solve from the 16th question. So let's get started. So in the 16th question, what they are asking, I want to show you the tables once again so that you will understand what data I have fed. So I am selecting that tables first and executing that. Here you can see course table. First we have a course name, category, fees and duration, and then will be having like a batch id, batch start and batch strength, and course id for the batch table. And student table, these data like 20 records are there in the student table with different set of ids and everything. So next, finally, we have an enrollment date. Batch one student, batch one is having student one, and student two, everyone is having batch one, and enrollment date will be this. So that batch, one batch is related to, let's see from the batch table, like one batch, what is the data we are having. That one batch is starting date is there, strength is there, and course id is there. So that course id referring to the course table, and that is SQL server. So finally the student one is having the course one ultimately from the batch one. So he's having this SQL server which is of duration, and he has to pay 1,000 fee. So this is how this the interrelation of this table has happened. So we have answered so many questions like graduate, how many, which is a, so which is a year, who are citizens, who are senior citizens, whose age is greater than 60, and phone number, invalid phone numbers, who has given invalid mail IDs, who has given, and what are the qualifications of particular set of students, and what is the date of birth of that particular student, how many birthdays are there in the particular month, and who are from particular city. Like we have done so many queries out of these tables. Now we are in the 16th question. So let me give you the question once. So see the question 16 will be display the. I hope you can see my video. Like it will be clear right up to now. So now the 16 question they are asking is display the student ID and student name and total fees for all the students. For all the students, they are asking for ID, name, and total fees. As you know that a student is not having direct data in the student table, so it should refer the batch table for that, and for batch table it will refer the courses table, which course the student have. So now we have to join all these tables which we are having. So from for the first time what I am doing is I am just taking from the student ID from the student table, and student name from the student table, and the course fees from the course table, and I am summing that courses and giving the alias name as total fees from the student table. So what I am doing is I am joining the enrollment table on the condition like student dot student ID is equal to enrollment dot enrollment student ID, and I'm also joining the batch table also based upon the previous table like enrollment table. Enrollment dot, in that enrollment we have batch id, right? Batch id is equal to from batch table batch id dot batch id, and then again I am joining one more table that is called course table based upon the course id, which is from batch table and from the course table. So this is how my joining is happen. So one more thing which I have to do here is I am using this aggregate function. So I have to group by the student ID and student name, so that I will get the student IDs and name of the students who are having those particular courses and the fees of them. So see, based upon the courses fee, I am summing. So these are the students, one, two, three, four. Who are the students are having like 29 students are there. So sorry, who are having the courses is enrolled is nine students, and having courses like these many courses. So these many fees they are paying for all the courses that the students having. So this is the query which we have to write for this particular question. And now we'll go to the 17th question. They're asking to display the courses which are not being taught currently along with the courses which are being taught. So as you know, right, now only nine students are enrolled for the particular courses, and some courses are present which are not taught for the particular batch, the courses which are not used by any batch. So they want to print that, and also they want to display the batch id for the courses currently running, and null for the non-existing courses which are currently running. They are having not having batch id for that, and also the courses which are having null or batches are having null courses. So they want to display that data also. So for that what we have to do is they're asking relation between batches and courses, so no need to go with the student table. So only from batch and this table we can do the operations. Okay, so for that what I have to do is I have to select first of all what they were asking for batch id, right? So batch id is from the batch table, right? So b we can give alias name, so batch id, and then they're asking about courses, right? Courses, course name also we can print. So from course table course name. So next they are asking like not being taught along with these courses, so that can be fetched by seeing the differences between start date and course duration. So if it is greater than or equal to current date, then we can say like it's not currently running. Then likewise, so then we can print that batch ID likewise. Are you understood, right? So also display the batch ID for the courses currently running. So whatever the currently running courses, then how we can identify currently running or not? We should check that duration of that thing is greater than today or not. Like it is completed or it's still existing likewise. So for that purpose, what we have to do is, you understand the logic, right? For that we have to add the date. So date add is there, right? So date add, whatever the things which I have to, we have already used date add for the one of the method where we are adding the duration and the start date. You understood, right? The same thing which we have to get here. Here we have seen like which is more than 10 hours. We have seen for the particular 13th question. You understood at the time they have explained you like how we get the duration of the course, like so how much time it will take, you can understand, right? From the start date we have to add the course duration, so that uh, you will get the time hours likewise, which is greater than or equal to the present date. Now we can call it as like current date or get date. So by get date, we can see which is greater than or less than. Then we can see whether that particular course is currently running or not. So we can see like we have to have a case statement here. Case when this particular date is greater than or equal to current date. Then what I have to print is we have to print a batch ID. So they want to display batch ID of the current courses, right? So batch ID which is from B table, batch ID. Else what I want to take, here I will write the else case. Else, okay, then is there, right? So, so else what I have to do is, else we have to give null, and null for non-existing courses. So null for non-existing courses. So this much is the condition as us, and we have to give that as what, course ID, right? So whatever the course we have given, we can give that course. So now from which table we are taking this? From batch table, right? So from batch table, and we are doing a joining operation on course on the condition like, for batch I haven't added alias name, right? B for course C. So on B dot batch ID is equal to C dot, sorry, B dot on based upon the course, right? It's from the course batch table, and this here also course ID. So now we had done joining is completed and the condition we have applied. So now we are using we have to group based upon the course name, right? So we are using aliasing attributes in the thing, scalar attributes, right? Group by course name. So we have to get the course names, display the courses which are not being taught currently along with the courses which are being taught. So these are the courses which is greater than or equal to today's date. Then that courses are not currently running, which are having uh, if so, else case we have to give as null, and null for non-existing courses. So if I execute this part, I'm getting an error. Let's see, like okay, I have given two braces here. So now I think it's fine. Sorry. Yeah, here we have given alias in name, right? So course duration it will be not like this, and also batch it will be B. So now I think it will be fine. Where I have given batch 11. Let's see that column group by Okay, here not only by course name, we should group by with a batch ID also. So we should have that here itself. So now I am grouping based upon these two things. So okay, if there is an aggregate function, we have to use date by is not an aggregate, so we can remove this part. It will be fine. Just execute it. Here you can see the courses which are having null got displayed, and which has not currently been taught, which are having null. So we have gotten data. So like this we can do for the particular question. Now let's move on to the 18th question. Display the count of students having no contact information, either email or phone. The students which are having not having email or phone, we have to give the those students data. So select start from student table. Here we have to apply condition based upon email, which is a null, or maybe the phone number is not present, his phone is null. So this is the condition, right? So they want to count of students, not a star. So they want count, so count function we can use. So count of what? uh, Student id, right? So number of students. So students dot student id count they want from the students table. So as we are using they only count, no need to have the that thing like group by thing. So execute it. So number of students who are having the things is called two students are there. Along with the, if you want the student id along with them, or student name along with them, what you can do is you can add student name. And the one more thing we have to add is group by student we have to give. Group by student name we have to give. So if you give like that, you will got to know like which student is having that information is not contact information is correct. So Akshay and Sona is having that contact information is null. So this is how you can do the count of students who are having whatever they asked, having no contact information like email or whatever phone number. So this is a simple query which you can write. So next they are asking like 19th question. Display the course name having above average fees. So above average fees, what whoever the students are having. So average we know how to find out by using an average aggregate function. Who are having the fees which is above an average, they want to display those course names. So which I'm dealing with course table, right? So course name from course table. So where we have to apply condition on course fees, right? So course fees, which is uh, which is greater than we sell average of students, right? Here we have to write a subquery to get the average of the particular courses. So average of course fees from which table? From course table. So this is the subquery where you will get the average. Here I will just execute this part. So I got average of fees, and then what I am checking is the courses fees who was greater than this average. They want to having above average fees. They want to display. So this is the query so that you can execute. Here you see course names are these biomaths and compat or the courses which are having the fees which is above an average. So next, move on to the next question. 20th question. Display the course names whose fees are less than the average fees of its category. So same, they are asking for whatever the what is they are asking less than the average fees of its category. They are asking like that. So for that, what you have to do is same. So how of its categories means we have to check average of that particular category itself. So we have to check for the items for each individual items in the same table for of its own category they're asking. So for that purpose, as we have deal this type of question in the batch kind of thing, here you can see. So similar start date and all the batches having similar start date, and it means you have to check in that particular batch table itself. For that we have given alias name A, B, and we have done in the 14th question the same thing which repeated here. Of its own category means we have to check in that particular table itself with each individual record. For that purpose, what we have to do is we have to use different aliasing name for the different things. So for that, what I'm doing here is I'm giving alias name, so I can remove course here. What I want to display is course and course fees. I want to display. So course and course fees from course table. So I'm giving alias names as C1 for the course C1 table, where here course is not present. Alias name is can use where course fees are what they are asking less than average, right? So less than less than select average of we should take an alias name again here, like C2 I can take from course C2. So average of C2, where we have to check again we are referring, right? So in that table itself, so we have to apply condition like the same course id for that category itself. So based upon category we are taking, so course category we have to check that category, and this category we should be same whatever we are trying to achieve by this. So now I think sorry. So course category from C1 table and C2 table should match. So to get the average of that particular thing. So I hope this much is enough from course 1. From course 1 we are displaying course name and fees as. In the select query we should get average of its own category, right? So average of that category itself. So where course 1 category and course 2 lesson name categories are same. So this is how we have to apply the condition. So subquery is fine, right? So just me select this part and execute it. So see, what is the course which is having less than its average? So whatever the courses we have for this category, so all the averages which is less than for this is this course, which fees is less than the average fees of its own category. So like this we can do. And next, display the course name having the highest enrollment. This one is very simple one, like we have to check, we have to here to answer this question we have to use course table, and along with that we have to use batch table, because course table is linked to batch table itself, and from batch table it should be like enrollment based question, right? Means enrollment table, so we have to join all these three tables so that we can answer this question. So let me give select star from first of all. So display the course name they are asking, but let me have a star first of all. Before doing that I'm just joining all the things. So select star from which table? First we'll start with course table. So select star from course. So now what I'm doing is I'm joining batch table for this batch on. So what are the things which I have like course dot what are the primary key connection we have for this and batch table is course id, right? So course id. So now joining of these two tables is done. The one more table which we have to join is enrollment table. Enrollment on the condition like enrollment. So okay, enrollment dot what are the id which is having connection here? So that is the batch id, right? So first we have to take a batch thing here. Batch dot batch id is equal to enrollment dot the same batch id is there as a foreign key. So batch id. So now everything is done. So now what we have to do is we have to group them, like they want to get a course name, right? So course name, let me have here like course name. So this much is enough. So now we are getting these things, but they are asking like having highest enrollment. So how to find out a highest enrollment? That thing is the question now we have. So let's see like the count of enrollment for the particular student we want. So for that purpose what we have to do is we have to use student data also from the enrollment id. So let's see that how we can do. So for that, so now we have to group by using group id. So that group that courses should be having that course name, right? So I'm grouping by course id. So now let's see like how we are having the results. So sorry, something is wrong. Spelling, I think. So now we'll get the related course IDs, but they are asking about enrollment, which is the highest, right? So enrollment we'll get. So for getting the highest, we have to add one more condition like having having count of that enrollment, having count of enrollment, enrollment of that particular student is greater than, for example, 10. We should know the maximum enrollment for that particular student, right? So why this? Where I have given this name? COURSC course. Okay. So okay, I should group by course name. Okay, fine. Then I can write course ID itself here. Let me check. Or which is greater than or equal to, we have to write again subquery to get the highest enrollments here. So that will be similar to this. Up to here, we should get that whatever we call enrollment kind of thing. Count of enrollment IDs which are here. I hope this will work. Sorry. Okay. Should I have aliasing names instead of this? Yeah, we should have alias names because we are using that here ourselves also from. So this will be B1 and C1. So let me have here like C1 dot course name, C1 dot course name, and then here we should have C1 and here we have B1. So next we'll have like here it's also B1. So okay, then here we'll have like C1. This much is fine, right? I hope this will work. Oh my god. Oh sorry, the problem here is haven't written like I hope you have find the reason. I have group, but I haven't tried to like group by. That is the problem. So sorry, some these type of errors will happen sometimes. So if I execute it, invalid in the select because it is not contain either aggregate functions or group by. So we are not having any aggregate functions and why group by they are asking. So let me have group ID or we can remove the group by if you don't want to group by them, we can remove that. So see, now everything is fine, right? For this particular course and the course name is having a course name is having the highest enrollment. Let me include that here in grouping also. So these particular codes are having the highest enrollment. So this is the simple query. It's not difficult. Just understand this particular query. The only problem which I have is I'm missing the group by thing, so that will creating me errors. So let's move on to the next question. Display the student name having duplicate email IDs. So who are the students having duplicate IDs? We have to display the student name. So we have to get the student name first of all. So we can have s dot s name from student table. This is having alias name s, and who are having duplicate email IDs, right? So this question we have already, like invalid email IDs we have done, but not duplicate IDs we have done. To understand duplicate IDs, like repetition should not be there. So we have to check it within that table itself. So for that purpose, we have to use like two different aliasing names for the same table. One minute. So we should have to check within that table itself. So I am taking two aliasing names for the same table, like we have done previous in the questions, like for courses and batches we have done, right? So I'm taking from student table, in the student table with aliasing name A and from aliasing B, where what I'm checking is where from first ID, which is not equal to, we should not check with the same ID, right? So from this ID should not match from this table. We other than that ID we have to check the other data. So from that table, yes, email is equal to, we have to check the duplicacy, right? So that email is same for both the things. Who's same, not same student, but email ID is same, that is nothing but the duplicate email ID, right? So same mail ID they have mentioned. So we have to get s name. So to get if the same student having repeated same, two or more students having the same duplicate, then we should not need to get the same name ultimate number of times, right? So we can add like distinct keyword to get the same student name who are having a duplicate email IDs. No need to have like two or more such kind of things. Like Rajesh is having the duplicate ID. He's having the same mail ID like other student is having. So this is how we have to answer. So next they are asking like display the student name having similar name but different email IDs. So here they're asking like the students having the same name but different mail IDs. So it is looking like similar to the previous question, right? So you can just copy that distinct name of the student from student table A and B, where they're asking like same name. So what we can have here is yes name, s name is same, so no, we can remove that. So name is same, and what they're asking, and different email IDs. So email IDs should not match. So not equal to, we have to apply here. So by that this query we should get the students who are having the same name but different email IDs is Amir. Amir is the student who are having the same name but mail IDs can be different. So next we'll be having like display the name, student name, date of birth, and the zodiac sign. So they have given some data. Use this zodiac as aliases. So they want to use this zodiac things. They have given some data. They want to use that, and they want to get the student name and date of birth and their zodiac sign. So based upon these zodiac data they have given, we have to write queries, I think. So let me have like it is based upon student kind of thing, right? From student table I think we have to take. So let me write the basic syntax for that. Let me write like normally select star from student, we have getting the student data. So select star from student, and what are the things they want to get? They want to get like student ID, right? So let me check once again. They want to get student name. So let me have like s name from one table, no need of aliasing, and student date of birth they want. So date of birth, and then what they want a zodiac sign. So zodiac sign, what they are telling is, if he is from September 23 October 22 date of birth, then I think who is from this particular sign, I think they have given some data. Who is from Feb 19 to March 20, see he falls under this. So we have to check that dates whether he has falling on that or not. So for that checking purpose, what we have to use, we have to use case statement. So case, and we should have like when conditions, and then or finally we'll be having like else, or no need to have else. So we can have then conditions also. So like this, they want like zodiac sign, right? The aliasing name for this will be sign. Um from student table, right? So this the cases which we have to write here. So this particular case, then it falls into this particular category, like we are having like this many. So let me have it uh, like what condition we have to write. Just think like they are taking like month and then the year. So from the date of birth, how we can take month and year? So month and year we have to check. So when the student's date of birth, right? So SDOB should falls between these things. So this is a date format. We should not having it should be between. They have mentioned things. So first thing they have mentioned like March 21 to April 19. March 21 to April 19. We should have like that is nothing but March is nothing but third month. So third month 21, third month 21 and 21 and April 20. So fourth month, between that and fourth month 19. So this is they want the date should lies between these things. But here we're having date format, not in this format. We have to change the format of this DOB. If that is the case, they want like Aries. This particular name should come here. Then that is the sign for that. So So date we have to modify, right? It is not in that format. What we can do is format. Format is the function we have. Value of that format we have to give. So what format? Value to format. This is the value we have to format, comma, comma. What are the format which we want? We have to mention like we want like a month, right? Month and year. It's the two digits year. Like this format we want. So let me see like this is not giving any error. I hope this will work. So let me has execute this particular part so that we will get results, right? So see, signs are not present for all the tables. Only the which falls under that category will only have this sign. I hope no date of birth is falling into this category. All are having these things. So let me add some more cases here. So similarly, how we are have added the same goes for all the things they have mentioned. So maybe let me add something, some number of cases. So these are the cases. Just copy paste the things. So which is 2020 April and then May. The second case is. So let me have here. April is 3 and May is 5. Both are 21, 21. So next, let me see the next one. Sorry, 2020. Okay, this will be 2020. I hope you can add all these things. So I'm adding just only few. Like next we have Gemini, May to June, June May 21 to June 20. May 21 means 5. Then we have June 26. Then it will be Gemini. So I'm not adding the extra things. You can add it. It will be taking time for me. You can add it and let me know in the comment section. I'll just executing this part. I'll go to the data in the zodiac sign who are having that only. So see here in the sign tag, Aries for this Suresh is having Aries thing, and then we are having Gemini for this name Gopichan. So like that, which are falling into that category, we are getting signs for them. You can add some more data, what they have given based upon the data. So take a screenshot of this and try by your own. Like if Cancer, they are having like June 21 to 20, July 22. Just add these things and let me know in the comment section whether you have tried this example or not. Let's move on to the next question. Display the course name fetching the second highest revenue. So based upon revenue, they are telling like course which is having highest revenue. So to answer this question, we have to check like which course is enrolled much, and which how many batches have enrolled that course, like how many fees they have getting, like that. So all these things should be have to take into consideration. So I hope, let's see how many people will answer this particular question. I will solve it in at last, or it will be a homework for you. Let me know how many you have solved this 25th question. And next, let's move on to the next question. Generate a report which displays the batch number and the number of seats vacant. Use the alias name as vacant. So they have to print the batch number. So right. So batch number is nothing but batch ID, comma, the batch number and number of seats vacant. So strength we have to know, right? So strength how much we have, and the enrollment how much is done. So if you minus those two things, like we know how many is completed and how many is actually present, how many is enrolled, and you will get the vacant from by seeing the difference both from both things. So we have to know, we have to combine enrollment table along with that, we should have like a batch table, right? So from batch, we have to join the enrollment table. Enrollment on what condition? We have like batch dot batch ID is equal to enrollment dot batch ID. So based upon batch, we have joined both tables. So one more thing, what I have to do here is I have to add one more property called as, which is a different vacant, right? As vacant, we have to add what the thing which you have to, we have to find the difference between the batch strength and what is the enrollment. So how it is, how many are present, and from out of that how many has filled, how many have enrolled. So count of enrollment we have to know. So count of enrollment which are having the batch, how many batches are enrolled likewise. So enrollments which are having batch ID. So enrollment dot batch ID. So sorry, enrollment dot. So enrollment dot batch. How many enrollments are there? Um, which are vacant. The difference between the batch strength and enrollment is done. So they will get the vacant from batch table and joining the enrollment table. So I think this particular syntax will work for getting the records or batch number which is having vacant. Sorry, enrollment dot batch couldn't be bound. See, we have joined the table, right? Sorry, I have used as vacant from batch join enrollment table on batch with batch ID enrollment table. Okay, we are using group count aggregate function, right? So we have to have a group by the batch ID. We should group them all the batch IDs into a one. So batch ID I have to group. So then that this statement will work. Sorry, again invalid. Strength is right. Batch strength only, right? Multi-part. Let me know in the comment section if you got to know this error, like why we are getting this. Invalid in the select list because it is not contained the aggregate function, so no need to have group by then. Let me have it, remove it. Sorry, the name of the enrollment is wrong here. Enrollment is fine. So see, aggregate function is not in the select, but we have used that in the like when in the condition also we have added, then that is mandatory to have it. So group by based upon strength also we have to group, I think. Let me see. Yeah, now I can execute this part. So see, based upon strength also we can execute, because those things are we are using that in the select. So we have to uh, group by with that also. Yeah, I can see now the results. Batch ID, which is having one I vacant. So enrollment, if for example, which is having strength as 10, but enrollment is made only 9, so the vacant will be a 9. So I hope I can. You can also print that part also. No need to just assume. You can type it there. So let me have this statement. So see, batch strength is 9. So these are the enrolled. So we'll get vacant as 1. So this is the strength and this is the enrollment. I can give alias name enrolled. So this is enrolled and the vacant we have getting difference from those things. So this is the answer for this report, which displays the number batch number and the number of vacancies using as vacant alias name. So let's move on to the 27th question. Which of the following have the following highest enrollment? Graduate, undergraduate, and postgraduate. They are, want to get which batch or which particular course have enrolled first, like highest enrollments, and then write a query to display qualification highest enrollment. So they want to use this aliasings as a name of that particular thing. So for that purpose, what we have to do is we have to display the qualification of the student. First of all, SQL from student table. So what they want like highest enrollment. So we have to think in the basis of like who are having this particular qualification is highest qualification enrolled for this. So for that what we have to do is we have to count, have count of that qualification, maximum count we have to find. So based upon count, if the particular qualification is greater than the count value, greater than or equal to the count value, so then we can say like that will be the highest course likewise. So select star from student. So we are using aggregate functions and group by the qualification. So here you can see the highest qualifications we have is 7 9 7 4. Who are having 9 will be the highest, the people who are having these qualifications, right? So how we can check that is we can have a subquery again. So subquery like means we have to display that we having group by, right? So we have to have having for that, having count of qualification should be greater than or equal to. Greater than will not present as it is in the thing only, so it will be equal to, we can say. So it will be equal to this particular select. In this particular select also we should get a maximum value, right? So max of count we can give like that. Max of count of this. So uh, we'll get 9 from this particular query. So if it is the count of qualification is equal to 9, then that will be the maximum qualification. So we can have like SQL qualification. So I hope this query will work. Execute it. So see, perform an aggregate function on a subquery. Cannot perform aggregate function on subquery, is it? So for that what we can do is we can already we have written group by, right? So, okay, same table, right? Let me change it. So this much is enough. We are getting numbers. So next, what we can do is we can have like so we can add like distinct only one qualification. Let me check this query. So yeah, is used as an expression. What's wrong with this particular query? Let me check. We're getting a distinct qualification from student, which is grouping by the SQL. So group by and having the condition like count of qualification, which is greater than or equal to these particular thing. So I hope we can't use aggregate function with subquery. It's telling like that, but let me check once again. Actually, by seeing the result here, you can saying like subquery written more than one value. Here, subquery is written more than one value. For that purpose, what we have to do is we have to take all the values. So we have to have one operator called as all. So we can consider like all values from the subquery. So from that, if it is greater than or equal to which is having record 9. So here we from this subquery we are getting like 9, 7, the count of SQL records, right, which are having maximum thing we have to take. So we can execute this particular query. So we are getting graduate is the qualification which is having highest enrollment. So this is how to answer this particular question. We have to use all operator to get more than one results from a subquery. So next we'll have 28th question. So 28th question is display the student name, age, and course name. Next batch ID, batch start date, batch end date, and enrollment date in the format of 1st of June, Jan 2012. Like this format they want to print. So already we have done this kind of question, right? So batch start date and end date we have already did this. So go to that particular question and let me know like whether you can solve this question or not. If you want me to do, I will do it. Like batch start date and end date, we have this question. Let me check and show you. So which question it is? So see if you see that from the this question. So we are getting start date and end date from this question from based upon the courses they have did batch ID, course name, and batch start date and end date for all the batches. So the same question which they are asking in the case of uh, let me have like students. So here involvement of students should be also be there. So based upon student kind of thing like they have to get data accordingly, and enrollment date also they want. So here they are want to have like course tables and batch tables, everything they want to get. So they have data from enrolled student data also they want to get, and batch and course, so we have to join all the tables. So let me have like which is a previous statement. So I'm executing this part. So batch ID is there, course name is there, start date and date. Start date and date we have already got it. So next, what more than that? They are asking batch ID and course name also we got. Student things they are asking. Student name also they are asking. So before having like joins, we can join that part also. And let me add like so from code C they have given like this, right? So let me have here like join join student table also on what basis student table we are having a connection with in student table what we have connection in student table we have batch, right, batch ID. So that is present in table, batch ID is present in enrollment table. So for before adding this we should add enrollment table also, right? So join enrollment table with enrollment table having course ID, right? So enrollment on enrollment, you can have like course ID is equal to enrollment dot course ID. Next we have to join student also, student on enrollment dot student ID is equal to student dot student ID. So this is how we can add, and we can have like enrollment we can give it as E, and for E, so for course we have given like C enrollment E. Student, let me give yes. So whatever the more they want, like student name they want, right? As name and age, we should have age. We don't think I will have an age. So for that, what we have to do is we have to calculate age of that student based upon we have did um, from date of birth we should get the age of that student. We should get difference between the current date and date student date of birth so that we'll get the age of that student. So for that age, what I can do is as age difference between like day difference between SDOP. So date of birth with current date. Get date, comma, date of birth. By getting these two difference, we'll get the date. I think student date of birth will get difference out of this. It needs the argument on what we have to get like in a day format. So day, get date, and these things. I hope this will get an age and batch ID they want to get, and the course names and batch start date, and also end date I have did right. Course duration plus start date will get then a batch end date. And next, what they are asking about enrollment date in the format of this. So for that enrollment date, what we have to do is, so this one is completed, right? Enrollment date and this. So enrollment date for that purpose, what we can do is we have to convert that date format, like conversion we have to do in the format of this, right? So what we can do is we can do concatenation and conversion. You can convert, right? I'm just printing whatever I want. So I want enrollment date. What is the kind of e date, right? So e date is there. I hope this will give me the enrollment date. Let me execute this. So syntax before the join. Let me have here like join statement only for the courses also. From batch we join course where b dot course id is equal to this thing, where, sorry, you should not have where here, should have like on. Something is on somewhere. So column name, is there any spelling mistake or what? Invalid column name. So enrollment having this course id, right? So no, its course id is not present in enrollment table. We should have like batch id. Sorry, it's my mistake. So based upon batch ID, we should make the course and enrollment table match. Sorry, we don't have that thing also. So what we can do here is we can have like a batch here and then course there. So yeah, I hope this will work. What happened to this? Yeah, we have changed that, but haven't changed this thing here. So now we should have like B here, not a B, and for batch also we have a batch ID. So now I hope this will definitely work. So now everything is fine, right? We have mapped these four tables. Join have four tables, and we have getting data like a student name and the date of birth of that student, and then we'll having like to get the date of birth. What I have to do is getting a negative marks. So we have to get difference from current date to the date of birth, right?
So format we have to change. It is in a different format. What the thing here? What we can do is we can give